We are live. It says you are live. We are live. Let's refresh over here. Yep. Yep. Look, I forgot to sort out the paper, didn't I? Beautiful family. I thought I did everything. Was so switched on with everything else except for sorting out the radio. There we go. Oh, there's our YouTube video. So tonight we're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. I've got YouTube there. I've got streaming software. So I've got YouTube, streaming software, Facebook. And Quentin has got YouTube. Well, he's got Facebook page and create a family group. Hello, Di and Robin. Hello, Marge. Hello, Pam. Where has the day gone? I know, Pam, where did the day go? The day just went poof and it was gone. Just whoop, day's gone. It just seems to have disappeared on me. Saying hello, everyone over on YouTube. Okay, so we're going to do projects first or paper first? Well, let's do projects first. So it's virtual retreat weekend this weekend. And obviously we're using Beautiful Family because that's what we're releasing this weekend. And we've so far done 1, 2, 3, 5 classes. By the end of the weekend, there'll be 8 classes. 2 out here on YouTube and Facebook and in the group for everybody. And 6 private classes in the group for those attending the virtual retreat. So, yep. And they pay $50 for the 6 classes and for the kit. 6 classes are free. And they can get the kit for last night and tonight with some extra goodies in it for an extra $25. But that's going to be done beforehand. But there will be a kit for tonight's class. There is a kit for last night's class as well. Oh, good set up pop-up thing. I've got to leave here because I've got to charge my phone. I think I know by now after like hundreds and hundreds of classes. Quentin reckons over 600. I think I might need to do a count again. I haven't counted for 6 months. So this was class number 1. Amazing. And then class number 2, yesterday, we did a pocket page. So these 2 are in the group. And, yeah, you can't access those unless you did the retreat. And then last night we did this one, which is on our YouTube channel and a Facebook page. So we did this little one. And then this afternoon, we're going to switch to a screen. And it's a little fuzzy. But this is what Naomi John did this afternoon. And it is a mixed media scrapbook layout. Using the tissue, collage tissue that we've released with Beautiful Family. It's our first time doing collage tissue. They're massive big sheets. We think they're really good value. So she's done a good job and she's shown how to put it on there. It is a little bit blurry because I took it as a screenshot on my iPad while I was watching the video. So yeah, let's go back to my screen. Let's get rid of that screen and we all scream for ice cream. And yes, we want to do that. And I didn't open the right screen. There we go. So yes, we're back again. And then we've made a card front. This to go on a card base. And we've done tissue flowers and Easter eggs. And I'm so sorry to the girls in Tassie. I did not realise that you guys didn't have a printer at the shack. I'm so sorry. So there we go. That's what we've done so far. So now I will show you. This is our itinerary. My itinerary is a little bit used. it's pretty full. We've still got 2 classes and a Zoom tomorrow. We've also had, so far we have 1, 2, 3, 4 Zooms. We've had 4 Zooms as well so far. We've got 1 more to go. So this is paper number 1 of Beautiful Family. If you watched last night's video, I show every single product for Beautiful Family. At this point in time, there will be others. I do add product all the time. Paper number 2, and I love, love, love this little print here. Love, love, love that print. And then paper number 3. And you can tell it's paper number 3 because there's a 3 at the end. See? And that is, 7 is, let's get my telly mate. So S, F, so 7, 3 is S, F, and Beautiful Family is 2, 3, B, F, and then paper number 3. I don't even think Quentin knew that. It's old text. You know, when we used to have text on our mobile phones, we only had the numbers, the number pad on our mobile phones. Oh my gosh, that was so arduous, wasn't it? How did we do it? How did we live without mobile phones? And paper number 4. There is a pattern vellum for this as well. For some of these there is. Paper number 5. I know the brick's very dark for me, but I have used it. I did use it last night. And paper number 6 with the super amazing frame. So let's pop this over here. And I think I said to everyone I might make a bit of a feed on Facebook is not good. Yeah. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. And you know what? I have extra juice in my new phone. Extra internet.
Okay. Bullshit.
Why? Was he on Netflix?
No, he was on his laptop.
Was on his Chromebook. Why isn't he using that doodah thing I gave him? Same on YouTube. Picture a bit fuzzy. Yes. Is it better now? Has it improved? Our friend was on his device.
Sucking up there with the net.
On his Chromebook.
Okay, so in the group here, you've got Michelle, Jacqueline, Astrid, Roz, Marlene, which is Marlene and Mary, Trish, sorry, Sandy, Carol, me, and Deborah.
Marge is not having any trouble. Well, we got Carolyn on YouTube and Jacqueline. G'day again. It's better on here with the rain going on here. Yeah, and I'm going to say something. So it's raining in Mackay, where the girls are in Mackay. It's attempting to, and it's very stormy-fied looking outside here. And it's raining in Brisbane. So we're between those 2 rainy places. And so, yeah. Sometimes the video is a bit cruddy if there's rain around and storms around. Can you just check bomb, Quentin, just so we know?
Yeah.
If we do get a storm hit us, we just stop and do it later. Legacy of Love, a flower. It's more of that cord that he couldn't find.
Yeah.
Yeah, he put it in the wrong place. Rightio. So let's get to our, I hope that didn't move the video. I have that on charge. It's fuzzy with me too. Oh, yeah, it probably would be finer because apparently there's a storm in Bundaberg, I heard. Savi, the girls thought. So we've got 2 pieces of buffalo. One of them is heavier than the other. I think this is 280 Theory GSM. So let's start with it. Now, I did say I would make like a folio-y thingy. Let's get a ruler out. So what are we going to make? I've got 12 inches across.
That's okay, Diane.
What's that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that. So I've got a heavier piece of buffalo. Rightio. So let's cut it at, so it's 12 inches wide. Let's cut it at 7 inches. So we got a 12 by 7, and then this piece is going to be like 5 inches wide. And let's cut that at let's cut that at 7.5 inches. I'm going to show you a way to get things nice and straight. I'm going to get my scoreboard. I'm thinking showing you, I'm thinking it's probably better to show you how to get things so that they line up. Let's just try and make things a little foolproofy. Heading out for a short time. Okay. Oh, okay, Diane.
What did you cut the second? What was the second cut?
So it's 5 inches wide because it's the scrap by 7.5 long. So we're going to put it in here. So we've got it 5 inches across and 7.5 down, and we're going to score this at 1 inch, right? And then we're just going to fold that back and forth like that. And then we're going to get our big piece that was 7 inches by 12 inches. I'm going to pop it in here. And we're going to score it at 6. Rightio. Oh, the sequins are like the plague, aren't they? Just keep popping up everywhere. Okay. So I'm going to fold this one in half, this big piece. Now, lots of times you'll see me when I need to fold something in half, I'll just fold it in half, but this is really quite thick, so I'm, just being a bit pedantic. So you'll find that one edge won't meet. So one will be longer than the other. That's cool because we want it that way. We do actually want one to be slightly longer than the other. So we're going to just crease that fold. And at this point in time, you need to pick which one's going to be outside, that color or that color. I'm going for more of the muted one, not the bright one. I'm going more the muted color, brownie color. And then we've got this guy here. So what we're actually going to do is we're going to attach this here. And it's going to come over the top like this. So we actually want our longer one of our two. I don't know if you can see that. We want our longer one at the back. And we're going to attach this little guy to it. That one there. And then it's going to be our, our thing like this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually trim this up nicely so that what happens is it's all nice and hunky-dory, even Stevens.
Do you have any idea what thickness that buffalo coat is?
It's 283 GSM. You didn't listen. Have you all met my husband? It's a little bit of an irritating man.
Oh.
Have you all met my husband? He did cook a most beautiful dinner. He obviously had a hankering for gravy because he made the most beautiful mushroom gravy. Okay, gonna get some tape. I'm using red tape, which is strong. So let's put our tape on here. Now, don't go too close to the edge because it will be exposed, because when we put this on, I'm going to show you in a second. We don't need to go right to the ends either because we're going to trim that off. So when we stick it on, you can see a little bit of that edge is going to be exposed. Just a little, not a lot, but a little bit of that's going to be exposed. So we just want to make sure that we don't go too close because I just despise seeing tape on my projects. I'm not worried about other people's projects, just my own. Let's put a third row in here, just for good measure. Might put that one a bit tight. Okay, so now we need to burnish it because any air in here is going to oxidize And in time, it's going to take a long time with this particular tape, but in time, that oxidization actually causes tape to let go when it's being used as a hingy doodah thing, and it's exposed to the elements. So this is not going to go into an album. This is going to be exposed. Well, that's the intent. So it's going to go in here like this. And let's look. We know we're going to look and see how much needs to be exposed, but we want to make sure we have a little bit of a gap here. So we do want to stick it on with just like a millimetre gap there. Rightio. This is our back here. We know that because it's the one that comes out further. So let's remove the top line. And let's carefully apply this down. So we've got an even, like, oh, it's probably not even a millimetre what I'm doing. Maybe half a millimetre. The whole way along. And let's burnish that so it doesn't let go in the next bit. So I don't know if you can see that. And let's test it. It closes nicely. So you can see we've got a bit of a gap here, just there. So that's not going to get all curly. Rightio. So now let's look under here and remove these bits of tape. So we just need something pokey like tweezers, scissors, or one of these great pokey tools. And like, you can see how bent mine is. Quentin's not saying hello to people, so obviously no one's watching. He's not telling me anymore.
Okay. So I was checking the weather for you.
He was checking the weather. How's the weather going? Where's the storms at? What?
Unless you're at Millmerran, there's no need to worry.
Unless you're at Millmerran, there's no need to worry. Also, have you met my husband, the weather nut? Yeah. The weatherman, the kids call him. But the kids are all obsessed with the weather as well.
Yes. Okay. So,
Mum, you don't have the mobile data turned on for your weather app. Why, Mum? What's wrong with you? I don't need to know.
A few people said that the video was better after we asked Noah to not be on the internet.
Yeah.
Cheryl said howdy.
Howdy.
Yep, that was all clear.
Here's my lopper chopper. And we're going to put it in the lopper chopper and we're going to line it up nice. And we're going to trim that. Oh, not quite close enough. Bit short.
And we have quite a few people over on YouTube, and they're saying it's all much clearer on YouTube.
Yep.
Which is great that we have that.
And then we're going to go here. So don't go like...
Nothing wrong with a good weather obsession. I know, Ross, thank you.
Rowie and I were talking today about, you know, this whole, with your lopper chopper. She's just got a lopper chopper. And you don't want to go through and then go and force it, because what happens is you've just got to be a bit gentle, because otherwise it'll tear. Rightio. So now...
I just had a question with over the lopper choppers. Yes, the plastic bit, the clear plastic bit is meant to move.
Yes, it's meant to jiggle around. It's protecting your fingers. And look at that. Even Steven's perfect. These make the most beautiful little bird's nests and twiggy things in... Let's keep those little shaved off bits. Keep those.
Most farmers are all weather obsessed.
I reckon if my dad was still alive, he'd be weather obsessed. The weather app, I think that's something that he always wanted. You know, having the Bureau of Meteorology in his pocket. That would have been something he would have loved to have had. Okay, let's start thinking ahead. So, in the mode of thinking ahead, we need to be thinking about how we're going to tie this thing up. Like, if we're going to wrap it up with this cordy stuff, waxed cotton, we need to be having that here annoying us so we don't forget to attach it at the correct time. Does this fit? Not quite. But you know what? We could put our legacy of love here and do something flashy to attach it. Flashy. Don't you like that terminology, Quentin? Flashy.
Okay. And would you call this a
Folio.
a folio?
Mini book folio thing.
Mini book folio. Right.
Mini book folio doodah thing. Let's get our other bit of craft. Oh, it's a slightly different colour. That's okay. I can handle it. We're going to cover it all in any case.
I just like the invention of spell check and how it corrects it.
I have Grammarly on Quentin's computer. We need to have Grammarly on Quentin's computer, just so you know.
There you go. Cheryl has 3 weather apps on her phone. Bit obsessed, she says. And Desley says even after the farmers retire.
Oh, gosh, yes. Pam needs to know what the little lopper chopper's called. Can you put a link up to the little lopper chopper and show her what it's called? It's probably just called a guillotine, ma'am. I need to call it the little lopper chopper.
It is just called the guillotine.
The guillotine. So what are we going to do? Okay. When you're creating without a plan, it's interesting. It's always interesting around here, isn't it? So, I need a piece of paper. I'm going to go 3 inches high, 1/2 inch base, and then it needs to be 3 3/4, so 4 3/4. Rightio. So we're going to make a pocket. Well, let's cut a piece that's 3.5 inches. So we're going to strip it 3.5 inches. By 4 3/4 inches. This is out of 225 GSM Buffalo. You could use all the same GSM. I just like using different.
Will be in the kit.
Will be in the kit. Rightio. I've got a mini score pal here. So I've got it this way. So it's 3.5 high, 4 3/4 wide. I'm going to score 1/2 inch in. I'm just showing you because some of you only own the little ones. So I'm going to score 1/2 inch in on 3 sides. The 2 short ones and 1 long one. 1/2 inch in. See? Shoop, shoop. Rightio. So it's going to go here as a pocket. Right? Going to go that way. So let's fold just with our fingers each of these 3 score lines. So 2 short sides, 1 long side. Fold, fold, fold. YouTube is much better. Facebook on Safari was breaking up tonight. Okay, Deborah, that could be the storms around. It's better now. Better now. Hello, everyone. So it is a bit hard when we're streaming on 3 platforms, 3 places. 2 of them are on the 1 platform. So we're streaming into a group, onto a Facebook page, and into YouTube.
You're streaming into 6 groups. You just don't know.
I'm not streaming into 6 groups.
Oh no, you're shared into 6 groups.
I'm shared into 6 groups because we have lots of. Every virtual retreat is a group. Yep, but love it. There we go. So we're going to do snipping. So you could just fold it up like this. You know, you could just do that kind of business. You could, I'm going to show you a couple of ways, maybe. So I'm going to cut across the corner like this. And then I'm going to cut I'm going to cut the side ones off. Right? In the middle of the folds. And cut the side ones off. There's just so many ways you can do this, and there's really no wrong way or right way. Everyone thinks their way is the best way. Right, so then we fold these ones up, and then we fold in. And it is a little bulky, but this little piece here gives us a bit of stability. So we are going to just trim on a different angle, not the same angle. Just going to trim these side bits on a different angle like that. So we end up with this kind of business. See? And then when we fold them in, we don't see it at the bottom, but this piece here, this little triangle, gives us a little bit more holdiness. That's a very, very important terminology there, holdiness. Quentin's going, come on, woman. We're going to be here till midnight.
Was not thinking that.
So that's going to go on here, right? But we're going to stick these little bits here, but we're not going to put it in yet. We're going to decorate things first. So where's my glue?
We're not going to do the fluff and stick.
No.
Oh, Dee's joined us. Hello, Dee.
How you going, Dee? I was a bit of a nosy parker this afternoon. I'm sorry, Dee. Bit naughty. Let's just burnish that a bit. Hold it in place. We just want to glue that little cornery bit.
Sandra just popped in as well.
Hello, Sandra. Hello, everybody. If I haven't said hello yet, I'm sorry. I don't mean to be rude. I really don't, honest. I try not to be. Rightio. And that one's going to go there. And we've got this piece here.
Oh, Marie's just jumped in.
So this piece here is already a 3.5 wide. So let's trim it down. It's lengthened down to 6 3/4 inches. Let's make a second one. Pocket number 2. So the leftover piece that's 3.5 inches wide, we're going to cut it down to 6 3/4 inches. And once again, we are going to score 3 sides. 2 short sides and 1 long side, 1/2 inch in.
So you're cutting 3.5 by 6 3/4.
6 3/4.
6 3/4. Right, luckily good listener.
Yeah. There we go. That's how we score a longer piece.
And that's from the lighter weight cuts, or the lighter weight buckle.
Yep, we're still on it because we ran out of the other stuff. We've already run out of the other stuff. Just make sure the phone's not getting hot.
Yeah, your 10 minutes is up here.
Let's... Phones get hot. So let's fold these backwards and forwards. Foldy, foldy, foldy. Give it a chance. You don't want it to crack. Don't want it to crack up.
You don't want to make a whole mini book and then it cracks on the edges.
Yeah. Smart mouth.
I'm lucky I didn't wear that yellow cat's mum ball.
Lucky I didn't have scissors in my hand, isn't he? Actually, you know what? I'm going to do it exactly the same on here because I like this way. But no, they're not the same angle.
So if you do buy a kit after this, you'll be receiving the same weight cardstock.
As me. We think. Do we have it in stock?
That's what I'm saying. I'll be getting 2 pieces of 283.
Oh, so you're going to get thicker stuff here?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Did we run out of the other stuff?
No 225 left in stock.
Oh, okay.
Someone used it in a retreat kit.
Oh, I've done class kits since I packed these retreat kits.
I know.
We make hundreds of kits a month. Oh,
sorry, I didn't put in the scoring measurements. Have you got those?
1/2 inch in on the 2 short sides and 1 long side.
Right.
Oh, okay. That's not on the Facebook page. Sorry. And we're just going to burnish that in place. And I'm just using Dimensional Magic in my applicator bottle that's nearly empty. And let's just burnish that in place. Just want it to stay. So that one's going to go there. That one's going to go there. And by making them, only by making them a little smaller, it gives us a chance for things to open and close nicely. Does that make sense? It gives things a chance to not get too bulky and not openy. So we've got this bit left. Bye. I'm just working something out.
Was that on the 2 short sides and the 1 long side? Or
2 short sides, 1 long side.
Oops.
I said 2 short, 1 long.
What did I put as the message? Let me go back.
Oh my God. 2 short, 1 long side. 2 short sides, 1 long side.
Sorry, Marlene. I'm coming back.
Did I say the wrong thing or did he type the wrong thing?
Thank you, Di.
Sorry, I'm just calculating on the fly. Okay. So we're going to cut a piece here that is 5 3/4 inches. So we've got our piece that's left over. So it's 8.5 inches long, or 8.5 inches this way. So we're going to cut a 5 3/4 by the 8.5, right? Then we're going to score it at 1 inch and 5 inches. So at the 1 inch mark and the 5 inch mark. 1 and 5. So then let's fold those. This bit we will attach now. So we're going to fold. I'm going to fold this bit up in and this bit out. I'll show you what it looks like from the side. So you're going to end up with this. A backwards Z-y looking thing.
So you scored it at 5 inches and 1 inch, is that correct?
1 inch mark and then the 5 inch mark. Right. He doesn't listen. And that's going to go here. And it's going to come out. Okay? So let's put tape on here. So I could have made this bit bigger if I had made this smaller. But this needs to be 1 inch because it's going to get a lot of pull pressure. So it really needs to be 1 inch so that it's grounded in there and not going to come off. Not too close to the edge. Okay, let's burnish those on so the tape doesn't oxidize. I don't always worry about this with my pages. I find that this plasticky tape can oxidize. I'm really particular about the tape I use on my pages and my cards. I use Express-It double-sided tape because it's such good quality. Nothing ever falls apart. Okay, so we've peeled one off. I'm going to bring it down here and we're going to center it. So we've got a little bit on each side, but we want to see a tiny bit. I'm going to show you. We want to see like our 0.5 millimeter of our base because we don't want it to protrude out the bottom. It's not even a 0.5 millimeter. It's, you know, it's a scant bit. But we don't want this to overlap the edge of our base. We want our base to be the base. We want the bottom to be the bottom, this not to protrude out the bottom. So let's burnish that. And I know we've got all different colors of craft because craft is different on both sides. So we've burnished that and let's find our pokey tool. And look at the mess I've got.
We can get 3 packets of craft all the same thickness and they'll all be different colors.
Just different shades because of the way it's made. It's actually made differently. It's just a different product. Buffalo is probably the closest consistently between the thickness, different thicknesses being the same colors. It's probably the closest in consistency. But you will see little flecks and bits, and sometimes the shade will be different across it, and it's just, it's all in the way it's made. It's just a completely different product. Don't know exactly how it's made. Maybe I need to research that.
It's one of those things we don't have enough spare time to research.
I just don't have time for that. Rightio. Oh, that's our pocket. That's our pocket. Don't lose the pockets. Let's put tape on our pockets while we're here. Nice and close to the edge, but not over the edge. We don't want to see exposed tape. Nice and close, but not over. Now up the top up here, we're actually going to do a bit more easing. I'm going to make it a bit easier on ourselves for things to look good automatically. Top in the corners here, we're actually going to just snip a little bit like that. And it doesn't have to be Yeah. No one's going to see that it's
Okay.
not proper.
So
But better to do that after you put the tape on, so the tape goes right to the end of it.
have you got the original scoring measurements, Alyssa?
For what?
The base codes.
Do you mean? What do you mean? The base.
Yeah.
So one of them's in half, and the other one is 1 inch in from on the long edge. Do you not remember that?
I was on the top. Okay. So
One of them's in half. The big one's in half,
yeah.
and the other one is 1 inch in on the long edge. Snip that. Probably shouldn't do this with my fussy cut and scissors. Let's not use our fussy cut and scissors for this. Oh, yeah. Just put that away. I don't like it to get dusty. It gathers fluff. Rightio. So we've got this piece left. It is, what is it? So 6 1/4 by 8 1/2.
Sandra, I'll PM you after class stuff.
What's the matter?
Oh, Sandra's, it's not making any sense to Sandra.
So the big one is folded in half. So the big one is in half. So this is the big piece here. It's in half at 6 inches. And then the other piece is 1 inch in on the long edge. So this is the second piece. And this here is the first piece. So that's the first piece there. And it's at 6 inches in half. And then the other piece is 1 inch in on the long edge. I hope that makes sense. Okay. So this piece that's left over is 8 1/2 by 6 1/4. Let's just trim it to 6. So it's going to be 8 1/2 by 6. Let's just make it a nice easy measurement. So it's going to be 8 1/2 by 6. And it's just as it is left over. And we're going to fold that in half. So, what's in it? So we're going to score that at 4 1/4. So we're scoring it in half at 4 1/4. Let's just fold that. Okay. And that can go in this pocket. That can go in there. And then we've got this leftover piece from the cover. So it is 4 1/2 by 5. So let's make that four and a half this way, and it's 5 this way. Let's cut that in half at 2 1/2. So we'll have 2 pieces that are 2 1/2 by 5 by 4 1/2. So it's 5 this way and 4 1/2 this way. So 4 1/2 up and down, 5 across, and we're going to cut it at 2.5. So we'll have two pieces that are 2.5 by 4.5. Sorry, I said one thing before. And they can go in here as little taggy things. Rightio. So I'm going to sharpen my white pencil. So this is how, sorry, just trying to get sharper. Does that show up on there? I'm going to use white pencil because, well, it's actually light grey green. Because, so this is what I would do next. So if I'm designing this for myself and designing on the fly, well, I was designing this for a class and then teaching it later. This is how I would do it. I'm just going to give ourselves a bit of a clean-up business here. And you can see now why sometimes I show you the book base and then tell you can go and cover it and decorate it later, because very time consuming. So all these pieces, we're going to write on them now what size bit is going to cover them. Okay? So and I don't think Quentin's going to type all this out.
No, it'll be written on. I can see it.
You'll see it. And I do the measurement across and then the measurement up and down. So this is going to have on it 5.5 inches by 3.25 inches, right? And we're going to do the same in here. So a 5.5 inch by 3.25 inch piece. So when I'm making a little book like this, this is what I do. I go through and I work out what's going to go on each. And then I can go and cut. And if I've got a scrap that's going to fit somewhere, I can actually do that. Whereas if I start from the front and work to the back, then there's a chance that I'm going to make a mistake and I'm going to end up with the wrong bit somewhere. So then this is going to be 5.5 by 3.75. So I already know that I can cut 5.5 inch strips, and I've got 4 pieces that are going to come out of those. 5.5 by 3.75 inches. So then this bit in here, I know that this is 7 by 6. So I need a piece that's 5.75 across by 6.75 inches high. And remembering, we've still got this string here, and we've got to keep thinking that that string needs to be dealt with before we start sticking too much business together. Then we've got this bit here. So this is going to be 3.5 across by 2.75. Sorry, when I start talking, I lose my train of thought. And these are going to be covered by a 2.25 inch across by 4.25 inch high. We need the same on here. So a 2.25 by 4.25. And also by doing this, if I forget to cover a section, it's going to look obvious because it's got stuff written on it. And if I don't get to finish a project today or on whatever day I'm doing it, at least I know that I'm going to have the measurements and I can just pick it up where I left off. And I can come in and go, okay, I need to cut a bit that size and a bit that size. I've got 5 minutes before I drop the kids off to piano, and yeah. So this is a 5.5 inch by 2.75 inch piece on my pocket here. And I'm just leaving my standard 1/8 of an inch all the way around border. I am predictable. My name's Alicia, and I am so predictable that it's not funny. So 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. Same here, 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. What am I going to do when I run out of this pencil? I'm going to have to find another pale colour.
Have to raid the kids' pencil drawer.
It's not. It's a Prismacolor. It's from my art stuff.
Oh dear.
Obviously, I'm never using this colour again in a portrait. Okay, so let's do this background here. It's going to be the same as here, except one little difference. We're going to be putting this pocket in. So let's do our 5 3/4 cross, and let's just stop a bit short and go to 4 inches high and save paper. 5 3/4 inches by 4 inches high. And then let's do the same over here. So we've got 3 3/4 inches wide, by 4 inches high, because our pockets are both the same size, same height, which makes life super easy. Let's go to this one. And we know this is going to be 3 3/4 wide by 6 3/4 high. So 3 3/4 by 6 3/4. So if this was your prototype, this is awesome stuff. I think it is. This back one, we know this is 6 inches wide by 7 inches high. So it's 5 3/4 inches wide by 6 3/4 inches high. So we need to start cutting some of these big bits first. And the same here. So 5 3/4 inches wide by 6 3/4 inches high. And the other reason why we cut some of the big stuff first is because if we're going to double mat, so on the front cover, I would say, just my personal opinion, I would say that would be my personal preference, to double mat on my front covers, right? My 2 front covers. So to do that, I would then gut the innards here, and then I'd be able to use that for one of the little bits on the inside. And I think I'm going to be able to handle the fact that some of my paper is going to be wood patterns running in different directions. And sometimes you've got to, I'm not going to have hearts going sideways. That just never does. That does not bode well. Just does not bode well with me. But I can handle having wood patterns going in 2 directions in a pinch. But you know what we could do? Oh, that'd be nice. That would be nice on that front cover, but I think it'd be nicer on this side. Or do we do that as the border on? Let's just get rid of it. Put all that stuffs in the middle. Do we put this as a border on here? And then fill our legacy of love with it out of scrap. Let's do that and then sit this on the front. Okay, I know what I'm doing here, so I'm going to do it. So as soon as I know something that I really want to, like I know where it's going to go, I do that. Okay, so string. It's still here annoying me. Our string is going to go in a knot. Okay, our string has a knot in it. So obviously it's going to come around the back here. So it's going to get stuck behind that piece of paper. And let's write the word here upside down to annoy me. String. String needs to go there. So I can't stick anything there without putting the string on. And yes, it's upside down. And then it's going to come around here. And it's going to go in behind here. And then it's going to tie over here. Right? So the string needs to be stuck down here before any paper or card. The string needs to get stuck there. See, I can't make a mistake now. So let's cover this one. And it's just going to be really simple. I think we're just going to put, do we want that one and that one? That's a yes. Or do we do that one and that one? Oh, let's do this one, and then let's put this little beautiful one here. And then let's back our legacy of love with our bronze. Let's do that. Let's. Rightio. So let's get this guy. So we know it needs to be 5 3/4 by 6 3/4. So I know it's over 6 wide. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to cut it at 6 3/4 inches. All inches around here by 5 3/4 inches. Right, and we're going to cut the middle out of that. So this doesn't have string written on it, so we can get to sticking with this. Okay, glitter card. You must cut the middle out of your glitter card if you're using it to mat something, because stuff don't stick to glitter card. It does not like playing nice. This stuff is Kaiser Craft. It doesn't mold, but it doesn't like playing nice enough that things are going to not fall off it. So let's go. So that's that size. So let's come down 1/4, and we're going to cut a 5 1/2 wide by 6 1/2 high. Oh, dear me. It's okay. I can handle it. This is pattern paper number 4. So let's try and save the maximum. Let's come from this end. So we're going to stick the barcode down. So let's use the barcode because the barcode's not visible on this side. So let's come from the barcode end and let's come down our short measurement. So we've got the maximum of those other patterns. So let's come 5 1/2 inches. So the barcode is behind here. So 5 1/2. If you want yours to work out the same, 5 1/2 by 6 1/2.
Leslie's just asking, could you hold out the piece of buffalo after you cut this so she can see the measurements?
Yes, definitely. Definitely, Leslie. Sorry, before we stick anything, let's do that. Sorry. I'm sincerely sorry. So let's get rid of all our goods and chattels in the middle. So this is our cover. This is our book. So we've got these measurements. Do you want to take screenshots? Does anyone want to do screenshots now?
So this is the paper you're going to need to cover them. It's not the size of the piece.
This is not the size of the piece. This is what you need to cut to cover this piece. And then in here, turn this way a bit. And then let's turn over to the back. This is the back. See my strings upside down. Let's go back here. So this is the inside. Just making sure you can see the whole thing for your screenshot. And then when we turn this one up, and then when we bring this down, we've got that measurement there. And then we so for this pocket, this is the big pocket on the left. So it goes over here. And this is the little pocket on the right. Oop. And it goes over here. This is our little booklet. So all 4 in the booklet are the same size. And it's going to go in here. And our 2 little tags are the same on both sides. and they are going to go in here. Is that right? Is everyone okay? I've got no comments on the Facebook page or on YouTube. Right. So we're going to cover this one first. Rightio. Oh, tape. So
Leslie said thank you.
this one's going to go on here, right? Let's get a bit of a landslide going on here. So I'm going to, and see, we've used up some of that annoying barcode. Just going to use my 6mm tape. It's a mini book. I'm going to burnish it. I'm also going to add a tiny touch of glue because I don't want this to peel up at the corners on this glitter card. This is Express-It tape. It's the bomb. You know what? I'm going to use this stuff. It's just white glue. Art glue. Just a little tiny bit. Just a tiny touch. Just adding to it. Especially just in the corners. We're using glitter card. Glitter card's a little bit menacing. I think I might want those bouquets out where they're going to be seen. Stick it on here. Now, because we used a little bit of glue, we've got a little bit of slippage. So what you need to do, set that over there, is, and when we burnish it, remember we cut the middle out, so we don't want to be too vicious in the middle here and create a embossed ridge. If you're too vicious just in here, you'll actually create a nice little embossed, embellished ridge. And then I'm going to get a wider tape. Oh, I'm nearly finished this 36mm stuff. And we need to make sure our tape straddles across between our glitter card and our pattern paper. I like wide tape, just so you know. My name's Alicia and I love wide tape. Being careful with our, not to emboss this here. Rightio. This takes a little while to decompose, but we do put this tape backing in our garden beds, in our compost bin. Quentin has been recently composting baby wipes. We only use Huggies baby wipes, unless we can't get them. Let's do this. This is going to be easier.
So a couple comments. Looks fabulous. I'm just watching. We'll do later, says Rowena. You haven't burnished the red tape on the pockets yet. Let's just remind you.
Oh, I thought I did. I'll just do it now. I thought I had. Sorry, Desley. I was going to, and I think I started talking. There we go. Thank you for reminding me. I'll probably do it again. And remembering not to be too vicious on the inside edge. Let's just do the inside carefully. There we go. So let's deal with our next thing, which is our string, baby. String. So where did I put it? And I've got the biggest mess in the world here, and I've got the biggest knot in the world. So I've got lots here. I think 1.5 meters is plenty.
Right. So we want 1.5 meters of that brown wax cool.
Yeah. Just going to do a test drive. So I'm going to fold it in half. I got 1.5 meters. I'm going to fold it in half, and I'm going to tie a knot in the end. And I'm going to tie a knot in the other end where the loop is. And I'm going to snip that loop, not right in the center, just off to the side. Rightio, and that was dodgy snipping. That'll be right. I'll neaten it up later. So I've got a piece like this. So then let's find the middle. So the middle is at the, don't make your mark too close to the edge. It's at the 3.5 inch mark. Let's find the middle of our back. Okay. And then let's find the middle of the front. Not too close to the edge. So we just don't want it to be seen around our mats. I use the white pencil specifically because if I use the chocolate coloured pencil, lead pencil you'd never see, but the chocolate coloured pencil you probably would. But if I use something pale, well, actually you won't see this through this, but if you use something pale, you would. Rightio. So then let's lay it down. Just do a bit of a test drive. Where we need it to go. That's probably best. About there. Isn't it? I think that's a good length to tie. Yep. So then let's put some tape across here. I'm going to put some 24 mil. And I'm not going too close to the ends. I'm going to burnish it. And I'm going to put some across here, not too close to the ends. Burnish that. Then what we're going to do is get a plastic packet. Right. Got to pop a placky packet down so I don't rip up my cardboard on my Kiki Cake calendar. And get it where I think I had it before. Oh, upside down, Miss Jane. Just sort of sit this around. Yeah, I like that. Sort of sit that like that. So it's sticking to my placky packet. And then what I'm going to do is peel this up, and then I'm just going to straighten it out. So I've got it where I want it here, and then I get my two pieces of string together. I get them to come across. So I know this is a bit A before C, but, or A before B, yeah. I didn't mean the C word then. Do not ever think I mean that word. C before A, that's what I meant. Alphabet back and front. But it just is a really good way to get it right. So what we're going to do is we're going to burnish this up against it. Here's what I think I'm a bad person.
So Laura's saying she's loving where this is going.
So we burnish that in nicely. Yeah.
Jacqueline's just watching and making tissue flowers.
Making tissue flowers. How many have you made now, Jacqueline? I think you made 6 by the time we zoomed this, Arvo. Okay, and then we're going to lay this across, and we're still keeping the two strings together. And do you know why we keep them together? Because it's just nice and neat and easy to accommodate.
So 24 mil tape would be the best for this one.
Oh yeah, just something nice and wide. 12 mil would probably work as well, but I don't buy 12 mil. 12 mil is a bit weeny. I have 6 mil, and do you know why I use 6 mil? Because it's easier for you guys in a class. I didn't use 6 mil before I did video classes. I actually didn't use 24 mil either. You only used 36. So this is 36 mil tape. I have a roll of 48 here. Rightio. So there we are. It's going to have a ridge in the paper, but it's going to be nice and stuck, and it's going to be really nicely stuck there. Okay, so we were going to cover this one with our heart. So we need a piece that's 6 3/4 inches high. So let's cut that. Doesn't matter because we're just using this size. 6 3/4 inches. Actually, let's cut from the barcode end so that if we do end up with leftovers, we can use it for fussy cutting. So 6 3/4 inches high by 3 3/4 inches wide. Right. So while we've got the guillotine out or the lopper chopper out, so that one's going to go there. Where else do we want to put this? Let's put it in the middle. So we need to make a 5 3/4 inch wide piece because it's already 6 3/4 high. So let's make that bit. So 5 3/4. And then this little guy is only 2.5 wide. What have we got that'll accommodate that?
So the center bit was 5 3/4 by
6 3/4 high.
Yeah.
So we could cover a tag with this. So let's cut this down to 4 1/4 high by 2 1/4 wide. And if we do this every time we cut a piece, we will eventually cover everything in our book.
4 1/4 by 2 1/4.
Yeah. 4 1/4 high. So do you know, I'm a thinker, and I'm thinking about multiple things at the same time. And you know, all I can think about is that you people might have thought I said a bad word. I meant a bad word. That is what I'm like. I actually think way too much, don't I, Quentin?
Yes.
That's why I don't often sleep. So let's stick this on here. So with that one piece we cut to cover our front, we have now covered one side of a tag. I don't get too precious about, you know, making sure it's this colour than this colour.
So Jacqueline's done 9 flowers and 2 card fronts.
Oh, wow. So let's add tape to these. Where are we at? An hour and a quarter. So X marks the spot. The finger rip like this actually takes practice. Sorry. So let's be sticking this one in here where it goes, not upside down. And let's stick this one here. There it goes. Beautiful. Let's peel little bits off. You could just peel the middle piece out, stick it on, and then peel the other bits out from around it. I'm going to play Russian roulette tonight, and I'm going to just pull them out. I hope Facebook and YouTube don't pick me up for that word. Russian roulette. I don't know if it's a bad thing. I once had a video deleted because I put dolphins on it. But I think someone reported me.
Long story.
Long story. Just go looking for our dolphin scrapbook page. Only on YouTube. Although I did share the link to it on my Facebook page today. Rightio. We do. It's a beautiful class. I love it. Summer Fun, it's called. And it's got the happy birthday dolphin cuts. There we go. Beautiful. Not too much rubby on here unless you want that nice embossed ridge. So let's just have a little bit of a look-see at our book. Looking lovely, and it's going to tie up nice. There we go. Stick this bit in here. We could just stick the X marks the spot and then come back and pull the other bits out from underneath. But, you know, I'm going to do this all the time, and then I'm going to stick something on crooked, and I'm going to crack up. I won't crack up. I'll just get on with it, I think, maybe. So down the bottom, our gap's not going to be exactly the same down the bottom as it is up the top. Because remember, we brought this in a little, and that's okay. Brayer does well for this as well. I'd use a brayer for this. A clean brayer, not a brayer that's been in my art area or Naomi John's. Definitely not a brayer that either Naomi John or I have had the pleasure of creating with. Oh, crud, a jig. Look, made a mistake. You can see it here. Guess what? It's on there now. That means that one of them is central and the other one is not. One of these is not like the other. Oh, you get that. You just get that. So, will we get these and these?
See you, Leslie. Hope you're feeling better tomorrow, Dom.
No. It's an 1/8 of an inch short. It's okay. So the next thing we really need to do is we need to cut this piece. It's going to be no good getting to the end and not having a piece big enough to cover this. Like I could keep on fluffing around on the inside, but then I could use everything up and not have a big enough piece for this here. So we really need to cover this one now before we get too far advanced. And I think I like the wood planks going across. Just me. So let's cover this back piece. And then our cover's done except for our legacy of love. So this needs to be, let's cut 6 3/4 high. Don't know, by 5 3/4 wide. Don't know if we're going to get a lot of decorating done. And let's just sit that aside and we'll come back to the innards. Look, I'm going to use this wide stuff. Oh, that is the underbutt. That'll eventually break down in the compost or the garden bed.
Oh, that's
Peel
not
it
good
up.
at all, Dad.
So?
Dad said when we had a card stall at the market, some people wouldn't buy because they didn't look handmade enough.
Oh, they look too professional.
Oh my goodness, Dad. That's the old saying, you can't please everyone, though.
So just turn it around till you like how it is. I like that way. Now, normally I would stand up to do this. Smooth it down and let's give it a good burnish. Did I burnish that tape on? Oh, I don't think so. I think I forgot it. It's okay, as long as you burnish it sometime. Oh.
Right, Noah?
Yeah, Millie's she back to Missy just fell down.
Might have had a nudge by the sound of it.
Might have had a missy attack of the missies. So we're going across with this timber. So we only need this to be 4 inches high here. just need that for that. So we only need a piece that's 4 inches high. Let's do this. So we're going to come up 4 inches. I might run out of paper. And we need one that's 5 3/4 wide. Let's just cut a few bits. And one that's 3 3/4 wide.
4 by 5 3/4 and a 4 by 3 3/4.
Yeah. So we need, so these are 5 3/4 high by 4 wide. So 4 by 5 3/4. And then let's make a tag out of this. Just going to 2 1/4. So it's 4 1/4 high. So all we're doing now by 2 1/4 wide. We're doing
cut 2 4 1/4, 2 4 by 5 3/4. Or...
no, one out of the scrap.
And a 4 3 3 by 3 3/4.
Yep. So then let's do our pocket fronts with the hearts. So it needs to be 2 3/4 high, and we need a 5 1/2 wide and a 3 1/2 wide. So 2 3/4 inches high. By 5 1/2. Two and 3/4 inches high by 5 1/2 and by 3 1/2. It's okay. I made a bit of an oopsie. So then let's scraps. What's that? Oh. Nope. Right. So then let's do timber. Actually, we only need a few more. No, we don't. Let's make this one and this one timber. So let's make this timber go up and down and that timber go across. So this is a piece of paper number 1. So we're going to have it, and we're going to use up the barcode end. So we're going to put the barcode at this end here. I'm going to come in 5 1/2 inches. And then we might pull up stumps and do some sticking by 3 3/4. We need 2 of those.
2 5 1/2 by 3 3/4.
Yep. And then, do we have enough for a 4 1/4? How are we doing this one? Up and down.
Sorry.
So let's do 4 1/4 high this way with the lines going that way, and let's do 2 2 1/4 pieces, and then we'll be done with our tags. 1, 2. Making sure, well, I am making sure that my wood grain is going the same direction. So this one goes here, and this one goes in here. And I'm really sorry if I'm making it a bit hard for you to follow. Now, when we stick this in, I'm going to come back when you go to stick that in, just, yeah, try and make sure it lines up. I would. Right, so we need to stick these top pieces before we add our pockets. So this top piece has got to go on before the pocket. So let's stick that in. Dang string. I told you that string was going to be annoying, didn't I?
It's like Naomi's phone charging. On Naomi's headphones.
Headphones did not make a difference to our sound problems. Let's
I
go
think
to
she
top.
does that because she's worried about the background noise from the people in the apartments.
Burnish. Let's stick the front on this, making sure, so up, up, making sure, because it's hearts. It's a directional print. You just can't have the hearts upside down or sideways. Well, actually, you can, but I don't want to. Yeah, I am that obsessive compulsive person. See, I'm an overthinker who gets a bit
Hearts on this side would look a little strange.
done it before. And I'll probably do it again. I make lots of mistakes. Sticking them on. So when you come to a section like this, don't assume you burnished it. I know I burnished it. I might have burnished it twice. I might have burnished it once. But don't assume you burnished it. Just do it again. Just for my sake. Peel it off. I got a bit of tape caught under my fingernail yesterday. Oh, it hurts. Now I sound like a whinger. So lining it up, top, bottom, and side, or bottom and sides, and lining it up with our little cover bit up there. And then let's finish our tags. Let's do it.
We don't have those paper creases loose and stuff.
Oh, I bought more recently. Oh, is it called a bone folder?
That's fine.
There should be range of bone folders in the store. I bought some more recently.
Unfortunately, we do sell things.
Fortunately, we do sell things. Well, we are in the business of selling things, not of hoarding things at our shop. It may seem otherwise. And we've got one tag. I love it. Let's put tape on here.
Yes, we do sell them. We'll be getting more in soon.
You do get one on your
On your trail. On your school.
on your score pal or your scoreboard.
Our plastic one. So that's okay.
I'm not trying to rush on purpose. I'm trying to do this at a followable pace, but I know I go a bit fast for some people, but it's, yeah.
So,
I still have to get the video in before I get kicked off by the phone or the peoples. I wish I knew how much power my phone had. Sorry, my chair makes a sound. Tag number 2 is done ski. 2 tags. Let's go to this end. Zoop.
this would look super with some of the bears on it.
Oh, it would look so good with some of the bears on it. Let's stick this to our little book. I'm going to put a bit of tape on it. I don't want it to fall apart. I should be going right to the ends, but I'm not. Quality tape and a little bit of effort makes your projects last a long time. But quality tape is the best thing you can do. Express It is a really good product, really good quality product.
Yep, Rose saying she loves you when you do stuff like this. I can replay. I don't need to follow.
Thank you, Ro.
You didn't burnish the pocket edge, says Carol.
Which pocket edge? The pocket cover or
Yeah, it might have been a pocket cover, dear.
first pocket or second pocket? Because I haven't finished second pocket yet. Oh.
You put a lot of tape on these.
Yeah, but my things don't fall apart.
That's very true.
Actually, I'm going to say a brayer is good, but a brayer is not as good as a bone fold, like
No, it
as a
doesn't give you the accuracy.
yeah. It doesn't actually burnish it properly. You need to burnish it. Brayer is good, but it doesn't really do. And I'm going to try and match up my pattern so it, or sort of match it, because remember I cut these two from the same piece. Other places you can put photos. Oh, the pocket edges. No, I didn't burnish the pocket edges. I just thought of that. Just thought, oh, I've got to make sure I burnish the pocket edges. I'm really pushing hard on these pocket edges. I don't want them to come off. I'll burnish that. Yep. It's got no gaps in it. My projects get a lot of manhandling. Up, yep. So you got to quadruple check these things at work, and then they do go on display and that. So they need to be stuck well. But you want things to last, especially if you're going to give this to a not as appreciative, non-crafty family member or to a child.
In other words, your husband.
The only thing that has wrecked, can you get the memory box I made Naomi John? The one with the pink one with the flip lid that was in Keepsakes magazine, or meant to go on Keepsakes magazine.
Yeah,
No, it's in Amelia's room. You know the pink one with the flip top lid and all the photos in it?
Yeah, I'll find it.
I might have to do this as a project. It was meant to go in for Keepsakes magazine, but they closed the magazine down, and I actually had to contact the lawyers, the liquidating lawyers, like the bankruptcy lawyers, to get my project back. Yeah. And I'll show you, I'll get Quentin to bring it out, and I'll show you. So the only thing that has killed it, it is still in perfect condition all these years later, and you'll see how young Naomi John is.
That Amelia's drawn the glasses.
Amelia Ann has drawn on it. Amelia Ann has drawn all over. It's a bit dusty at the moment. Amelia Ann has drawn all over her sister's face. She has tried to get her sister's picture off here. So I made this from chipboard from scratch. And it's got all these photos in here of my beautiful little girl who is 21.
Amelia's not playing at all.
And it's even got drawers. Oh, there's a wing. Whilst you primp and preen and prepare to go out, always remember that inner beauty is what really counts. Love, Mummy. And I made this in 2005. So I only had 2 children when I made this. And the only thing that's killed it is the little toads drawn on it. Yeah, just leave it there. I might do that as a project. Who is interested in that as a project?
That's a long class.
There might be a couple of classes.
Yeah.
But I made it from scratch.
That's not a Saturday night.
No, it took me a while to make it. I'm going to say that.
Better get little handles.
Oh, there's other ways to do that. I do other things now.
Finger slots.
No.
With your pinky.
Your pinky, it'd have to be huge. Quentin's got big diesel fitter's hands that have been crushed too many times. They're all swollen. Let's cover these 2 pages.
There's a whole lot of yes pleases on the screen. I don't know what that's all about.
I made other things like that and given them away. I've given so many projects away. Oh, I need to come back and burnish that a bit more. So let's stick this on this way. I love how this timber turned out. I kept going until I had a little bit of pinky lilacness to it. That's going to bug me. That not matching there. That's just naughty of me. Let's do around this edge here a bit more. And you can keep coming back and burnishing a few times. Right. So this goes this way. Let's match it up so it comes through and it matches there. And we'll double check it again before we stick it on. So it goes that way and it comes through and it goes there.
So Dee said that it's amazing. Deborah said beautiful little box. Roz said yes to the class. Rowena said yes. Dee said yes. And Deborah said yes. Beautiful project, but I must sleep up before the darn birds. No good reason this morning. Oh dear. Up before the darn birds. I don't know, Deborah.
Okay.
Have a good night, Deborah.
So we're getting a bit scroungy. We're at that scroungy point. So let's do, but we know we've got this piece here that'll fit on here. So let's do a floral on the front cover of our booklet. So we need it to be 4 inches wide by 5 3/4 high. Let's do both our inner pages in brown timber. So that's going to be, it goes sideways. So we need to come 5 3/4 inches this way by 4 inches.
So how many inches was that?
And 4 inches, 5 3/4 by 4 inches.
Yeah.
So we've got 2 of those inside, and we didn't use any of this stuff we scrounged. Then we're going to do these 2 bits here. So 5 1/2 wide by 3 1/2 wide. Oh crap! Sorry, knocked it. So 3 1/4. So let's do, is it 6 1/2 this way? 6 1/2 this way. So let's do 5 1/2. We just want, we're trying to get the maximum scraps out of it. So 5 1/2 by 3 1/4 and 3 1/4. Go this way on this end by 3 1/4. Just didn't want an edge with no flowers.
So what size were the pieces in the end?
5 1/2 by 3 1/4.
Yep. How many of them were there?
2. Let's stick them on, and then I think we're covered. And then we can just, I can show you how you can do your title. Front. Let's just put tape on the back a little bit. Oh, that's brilliant. We're not going to do that. We're just going to keep it to You know, so what do we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 patterns.
Yep,
1, 2, 3, 4
1,
patterns.
2, 3, and 4.
Yeah, so we've got 4 patterns. We could have had 6 different patterns, but we've got 4 patterns, and I think 4 is enough patterns.
You've got 2 pieces of buffalo cardstock.
Yeah.
And half a sheet of bronze cloth.
Yep.
And 1.5 meters of brown wax cord.
And the Legacy of Love title. Probably don't need the 4th row. Could definitely put more patterns in, but I think 4's enough for me. A bit of a simple person. Rightio. Let's just burnish all of these. Gonna have to get up early in the morning for Sunday. Actually, we'll be up in time. Usually get up about 7:30.
Deborah said it's got a real country girl feel about it.
Does, doesn't it?
Night, Deb.
Yeah.
You get more sleep tonight.
Got to get up before the birds.
Oh, she was up before the birds this morning for no reason.
Oh. Well, they're in full swing over at the rail yard.
Not
Placing
the birds,
the track.
Track workers.
Track workers. They were in full swing while we were having dinner before class. Considering they were meant to do it over a 4-day period and they didn't start doing the works until after the 4 days were up. Something must have happened. It's an issue here at the moment, just getting staff, but I know it's happening everywhere. So you know how when we made this pocket and we did the corner and we had the little triangle folded over, see how it makes our pocket have that give, still tight, but it's got a bit of give for things to go in and out. And that's because we've used a good quality, nice thick cardstock to make our pocket, but we've had those little foldy things in the corners. So they do have a purpose. Well, let's put these inside. This floral is a seamless pattern, and I made it because I made these floral clusters from just loose, so all single elements, and then I made the clusters, and then I made the seamless pattern for it to go. I've been making a lot of my own seamless patterns lately on my papers. I've really enjoyed making my own patterns. Oh, that was your mum sending a good night photo. From Amelia Ann. I think, oh, your mum knows I'm in class tonight.
Yeah.
Amelia's at a sleepover at grandparents at Quentin's mum's place. Quentin's mum and stepdad, so. So I did come along and batch burnish this, remember? So it's all, I've tried to design this paper that you can change the direction and it not be particularly obvious. Like I've changed the direction from here to here. I've turned it on its side, but I'm hoping it doesn't look particularly obvious when you change direction when you're using this pattern paper. And that's something I tried to achieve with it, that it was sort of directionless. I like it that way. Whoops. I don't think we're going to use it. I think we might use this because I love that pattern. Maybe. I definitely think you're going to need more paper and cardstock to decorate this, like to mat your photos and all that sort of thing. But we're just going to do basic decoration with this.
Yeah, there's links. Terrible having people that know employees and customers have to wait.
Oh, yeah.
So 5 months for a landscape, I did pity you.
Oh, that's just terrible, Desley.
Well, I'm saying that you would not like me to come here landscape.
I'll miss the black thumbs. So it is a bit tight here because of my pocket, but it's okay. I can handle that. Stay. Oh, that'll be another photo. Sorry, everyone, you're going to keep hearing that. As long as they don't ring me. Can you... okay. So do we want to just fill that with that? Or do we want to fill it with this? And that doesn't show up. That definitely shows up. Not enough of that. Not enough of this either. Let's do the brown and okay. So we're going to fill our legacy of love using dimensional magic. Love dimensional magic. Do you know, there was a time when the only person at my store that was buying dimensional magic was me. And I had to sell it out on sale because I always buy so much. Yeah.
Okay, so far,
because you really can't have a product that only the owner buys.
Is at $12.85.
So where do we want to go? Here? Yeah.
Like Carol Schultz.
What about here? I know it's whack bang in the middle and it's probably a bit wasteful, but yeah. It's the title. It's got to be pretty. Okay. So we're just going to cut around our heart, and I'm cutting on an angle. I don't know if you can see. So I'm cutting on an angle. And I'm going to include the middle of my ear. Just cutting around. Oh, there's another one.
I'm not getting it.
Yes, no, she's going to send me like 50 photos. It's okay. As long as they don't ring. So if they ring, I've got to remember. Can you just come and look at the screen and see if they want me to reply? They're waiting for me to reply good night, and if so, you're going to have to send that from your phone.
I was going to send it. No longer on your screen. Oh, attached image. They're just images.
They're just sending me 50 million images.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're sticking the glitter card. We're going to stick this glitter card so that it has a bit of body, and so it can hang off here, right? We're going to hang it off. The issue is remembering that glitter card doesn't always play nice. Oh. Now, you should leave it to dry before you cut it out, because otherwise you run the risk of doing what I've done and just lift it up and it not glue. You do need to let it dry properly before you cut it out. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get this and sit it on here. We're going to make a little tiny mat for it. But what we're going to do is we're going to get our white pencil or a light coloured pencil. We're just going to mark just inside a bit. Oops, ripped it up. And I'm just marking inside. So let's burnish that. Let's burnish that glue down. I don't want it to lift. It's a mini book. It's a folio. It needs to be glued. So I've got this marking I've made in behind, and that's going to be our security blanket. That's going to be where we really have a chance to make sure that it doesn't let go. We're going to glue our title to our glitter card, but we're also going to have this bit in the back here where we can really have adhesive coming across and attach this to it so that if it lets go around here, it's okay. It's not going to let go in the middle. And you're not going to lose this piece. Trust me, from experience, let's use white glue for this. Dries clear, but he's flicking his mouth plate, everyone. It's driving me nuts. So let's pop this down. And see, because I cut it out before it was dry, I'm going to end up going mad at it and putting too much glue on here. Okay. Oh, bit of glue smosh. Bit of glue smosh. Let's clean the glue up. Right, let's burnish it down. Turn it over. Give it a good burnish. Probably going to pick up the watercolour paint, the metallic watercolour paint off the mat.
What have you got on that?
Oh, I've got metallic watercolour paint. There we go. That's stuck on really well now. Let's make sure it's stuck down really good. Nothing worse than coming back and stuff's falling off. So where would I stick dimensional flowers? You know, like paper flowers,
Tissue flowers.
fabric flowers or tissue flowers. So you're going to stick them on with paste. Really need to stick them on with paste. Now, I could use my fussy cutting scissors, but I'm not going to because glitter card's not the nicest thing for your fussy cutting scissors. So now I'm going to cut it out with a little border. And it's not going to be perfect. I am not perfect. I'm not perfect. I don't know everything. But I do have a go at anything. Like, I'll have a go. I'll try something and make a mistake. And my daughter's the same. We've all seen her go, no, Mum, I'm sure glue's going to stick this paint stand together. And then come back a couple of days later and do the video all over again with a hot glue gun.
Yep.
But you've got to try these things. No one's going to know whether it's going to work or not until someone's done it and failed. And it's not a failure, it's a learning experience. My dad used to say, if you didn't learn something today, you wasted your day. I have to admit, my kids and my husband all follow that adage. We all do. If you didn't learn something today, you wasted your day. Even if all you learnt was how not to do something. I'm pretty tired at the moment, so I don't think this is like my best fussy cutting work. My best silhouetting. We used to call it silhouetting. I'm not going to cut the middle out of the L because the whole purpose of this is to have it that it's going to look like it's, you know, it's going to be hanging off and look like it's one piece. So let's round this off down here. Have a look at it. Oh, it gets a bit thin in a couple of places and a bit wide. It gets really wide down here for some odd reason. I don't know what I was doing with this E.
Taking it easy.
Taking it easy, says Q. You're a funny man, aren't you?
Wow, doing it tough over here.
He's doing it tough. He's not even having to type anything. Someone needs to ask him a hard question.
No questions.
Like where he left his phone. Can you ring my phone? Oh, he's got his phone with him. Can you ring my phone? Someone's moved it. So I'm going to sit this here, right? Oh, it just fits. We'll sit it there, right? We're going to have overhang. So we need to cover our overhang with something. So what are we going to cover it with? Let's cover it with this heart stuff. So let's stick a little bit of the heart to here. And we're going to use the center of the heart as our guide and hope I've cut it straight. So let's use some dimensional magic. Love dimensional magic. And use this as a guide, straight. And then we're going to turn it around, and I'm just using the timber as a guide as well. The lines in the timber with the edge of the paper. That's not too bad. Let's give that a bit of a burnisheroo. Try not to get paint on it. This is alcohol ink. That alcohol ink has been on this bone folder, and it's actual bone. Been on this bone folder since the first alcohol inks were released by Tim Holtz, like 16 years, 17 years, something like that. Long time ago.
It's pretty good that it's set on that bone folder because some of them are sticky.
So my heat tool that the kids blew up in 2020 while Quentin and I were away, or was it last year? The heat tool the kids blew up on me while Quentin and I were away actually had alcohol ink on it as well, because I was alcohol inking anything I could lay my hands on. Now, I've made a mistake here. Look, it didn't quite cover the bottom of the loopy bit, but what I'm going to do is the loopy bit matches me, it's loopy. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to trim the bottom edge just a fraction, just to hide that. Let's just trim that. There we go. Right, so when we stick this on here, now, when we stick that on there, look at that. Doesn't look too shabby, does it? Rightio, so we're going to stick this on here. So we want to get it so that the E doesn't overhang here, and that pretty up there, isn't it? Like there. Still. Right, let's go. I'm using Dimension Magic. It is stronger. So I'm going right the way. I'm going to colour it in here. I'm only going up to the edge of this. Well, actually, I might go a little bit closer. I might come in a little tiny bit. How far are we going to go? Look, we're going to put it like this. Okay, we're going to have the E bit there, just inside there. And how far can we come? Let's come sort of not all the way. Just in like 1/8 of an inch, or just over 1/8 of an inch. There we go. That's a lot of glue, by the way. Dimensional Magic's that lovely stuff you can put a glossy coat on things with. Not too close to our stringy stuff. And let's make sure it looks like it's up and down straight. Let's push it down.
Dee said she can't wait to give this a go. I love this project.
And then we're going to burnish it. Make sure we get some good sticking going on, especially in the middle. And my G, look, the G's let go.
And Ree said it's looking really lovely.
Because that G is just perfect for a small child to pick off. We all know which child that is. It's not even necessarily a small child, or could be a relative. Could be an elderly relative. Could be a, you know, obnoxious relative. Actually, more obnoxious. We know which relative it is. I've got a bit of glow smear there because my eyesight's not great. I'm going to tell you all that. And you'll probably see some little glow smears in my photos and my projects now. I'm going to tell you. I'm still pretty good at fussy cutting, but sometimes I don't always see the glow straight away. The contrast. And just down here, we need a bit of glue under this point. So let's put a little bit just here because there wasn't enough. And it's just going over the ridge of the string on, you know, the string that went through here. So we just need to make sure we stick that properly.
So Jacqueline's...
And see how we've ended up with a nice bit of the stringiness here. So it's got enough give. Need to make sure that's not too tight. Forgot to say that when we did it.
So Jacqueline's over on YouTube said this is amazing. Lisa, love this.
A little bit here. So we need to. So the time you spend on this now is going to give you. So each 5 to 10 minutes you spend on making sure you burnish things and things are glued properly is going to give this thing probably another 5 to 10 years of life. Our biggest enemy here with things I make is the coal dust. It is the coal dust. Coal
Thank you,
dust.
Sandy. Have a good night.
Thank you, Sandy. Sorry this is so late. We're at the 2-hour mark. Sorry, people. But, you know, little books take time. Where are we? And my hip is starting to hurt. I've got a double joint on one side and it starts to hurt after a while. Rightio. Probably help if I did a bit more
Were you going to
exercise.
put anything else on this tonight, dear? Or did you want to make that?
I actually think I'm going to leave that up to the individual. Oh, I didn't tie that very tight, did I? So it's a bit tight, but that's okay. And once you put photos in it, it's going to be even more like, let's look at this. Let's put, okay. Photo. So by the time you add a few photos, let's add a few layers of photos. We've added a few layers of photos. He's got photos on them. There's photos here, photos in our little book, photos on the flippy thing. Let's add a few photos.
She's gone mad, folks.
I've gone mad, folks. Yeah. Just ask
I'm
my
just going
lady
to
husband.
save this kit then and make it live.
Make sure you've got a title on it so you don't lose it.
Okay, so the title, just in case anyone's interested, is Beautiful Family Mini Book Saturday Night Scrapbook.
There we go. And see, it's full of photos. And look, we've still got room in there. And we pull our little string. And let's take out our fake photos. So, this is our book. So when we open up our Legacy of Love book, we've got 2 little tags here. Ready to put some little photos or a little quote or a saying like "you are wonderful." So yeah, you could give it to a son or a daughter or a niece or a nephew or a cousin or a friend for their wedding day with lots of little bits of advice or, you know, little quotes to inspire. It'd be great for a young person heading off to university to have some photos of family and some lovely quotes just to look at when they're, you know, feeling a bit homesick. Trust me, that happens. So a little book, another book, ready to decorate. You could fit another little book in there that's smaller. If you had another sheet of cardstock, you could make more tags. Yep. There, and then our back cover's there. And then we come along and we just tie her up on the spine. Just tight. Doesn't have to be super tight. And when you go to visit said recipient, you just take your bone fold and you go, oops, just got to do a bit of burnishing here. And away you go. There we are.
Thank you, Dad. So Michelle said so much beautiful work and time you have put on into this. Thank you so much.
And we started off with the idea that I was making a folio, and that was it.
Yeah,
What
Laura,
could you use if you don't have the red tape? Carolyn, just use your regular tape and a little line of your Dimensional Magic or your white glue. Probably just a line of, just use your tape, burnish it, and then add a little tiny bit of your Dimensional Magic. Definitely will work. I've made books just with this, and because I've burnished them really well, they still hold together really, really well. I've made books without red tape all the time. Gorgeous book. Thank you for a fantastic idea. Night, everyone. See you tomorrow. See you, Marge. See you tomorrow, love. Book. Thank you, Tash. Thank you. So, yeah, there's our little book. It's ready for you to fill.
thank you,
And it's
Leslie.
not going to, be a flat lay book. Like it's a flat lay this way, but it's not going to be a, it's always going to look a little hungry, and the more you add to it, the worse it's going to get. But that's the whole touchy-feely, like it's full of stuff. Full of things. I have to share some pictures. When I was transferring all my photos off my old phone that Quentin's got now, because I took all my photos off. I could have moved them to the new phone, but Milton said, Mum, you need to start with an empty phone this time. You can't start with a half full phone. So I listened to my child.
So Cindy said that love it, and she also loved Dimensional Magic.
Yes. And I found some photos of a folio I made, and I've made a heap of them for this particular lady, and they are heritage folios, and they have the wedding photo, the marriage announcement, photos of the ring, like they've had hankies from the weddings, and the invitation, anything she had from the wedding, any memorabilia and photos and engagement photos and that. And in them, she put a letter to the granddaughter that received it with the wedding ring and engagement ring from that grandparent, great-grandparent, or whatever. So she has 3 granddaughters, and each of them have got a wedding ring and engagement ring from a particular relative, and I've made a folio for each of the girls for their with photos and just lots of memorabilia from it. So I'll have to share some pictures because they turn out really nice, and I use lemon craft when I make those. I would use my own paper now, but I wasn't making my own paper in 2019. But yeah, so I'll have to share that because they're a nice folio. They're a lot bigger. They use a lot more paper and card, but definitely worth it. I didn't use my flare button, but that's okay. Doesn't need it. But there you go. So
Thank you so much. See you tomorrow.
Thank you very much. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for taking the time to stay with us tonight. I know 2 hours and a bit is a long ask. Take care. Stay safe. Public service announcement. If it's flooded, forget it. Please don't drive in floodwaters. We actually have customers that have been adversely affected by relatives or friends that have been hurt inadvertently, not being irresponsible either. Just and it's like, yeah, you can't risk it. Don't risk water. There's lots of flooding in New South Wales at the moment again. So
Yeah,
just take care, look after yourselves. If you're unwell, don't go out, and that sort of thing. So, yeah. And we'll see you, if you're doing the virtual retreat, we'll see you tomorrow at 10 o'clock for card making with me, and that's the Deborah request card. And then at 2 o'clock with my leftovers, I'm making a scrapbook page. I don't know how that's going to go because I don't know what I've got left. And then at 4 o'clock is our end of virtual retreat Zoom tomorrow. It's really sad when that Zoom ends. But thank you all for coming along. And don't forget, this is in the Beautiful Family group. There'll be a link in the Creative Family group, and it'll be shared in there. It's on our Facebook page and our YouTube channel. And we download it just in case all of those places eventually disappear one day. Heaven forbid. We do have a download. Copy of it.
Saying yes, please. Sleep well, says Doriguchi, and thank you, everyone, says Pam.
Yes. So thank you. Thank you all. Take care. Stay safe. And we will see you all tomorrow or Tuesday. I've got to do my fussy cutting for Tuesday's class. Dearie me.
Night, Dee. Good night.
Night. Thank you. Bye.